Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this live session about the Horizon Europe. My name is Annalisa. I'm project manager at IPN. I'm head of funding support of IPN. IPN is a non-profit organization that has the main aim to do the bridge between the academia to the market with a lot of transfer of technology and innovation. We are located in Coimbra, which is the central region of Portugal, and we are part of the e-learning project, which is an Erasmus Plus project, and this webinar is part of this mission.
Well, this project that I will show you a little bit is an Erasmus Plus project focused to train the educational sector to get to know even better the EU funding actual framework program, which is for the period of 2021 until 2027. And the main focus of this project is to provide some training materials and also some interactive knowledge in order to better prepare this kind of organizations to deal with these opportunities. And today it's time to talk about one of the funding programs, which is the Horizon Europe. And I will try to share with you some useful information in order to highlight for some issues, and I will also try to suggest you some tips and things that you should reflect when we are trying to prepare you to apply to some of the several open calls of the Horizon 2020 projects. If you have any questions or suggestions to do, please feel free to put your questions on the chat of the YouTube. At the end of the session, we will have some time for question and answers. And again, thank you very much to join you today. Well, let's move on. The Horizon Europe is the European Research and Innovation Framework Program, and it has three main objectives. Well, this program aims to strengthen the European scientific and technological basis. The program also to boost Europe's innovation capacity, competitiveness and jobs, and it also aims to deliver on citizens' priorities and sustain our socioeconomic model and values. So this is the umbrella of the program, and it is organized in three main pillars. I think this picture is very well known for the community, and it's interesting to stress that the Horizon Europe aims to deliver, or at least to contribute to deliver some European policies recommendations, and at the end it is also very aligned with sustainable development goals. I mean, at the same time we are contributing to strengthen our capacity to deliver better research activities and improve our competitiveness through that. We are also to address some global challenges like the climate action or life on land. So it's really important to understand that we have this alignment with the global sustainable goals. Well, as I told you, today we will focus our talk on Pillar 2. The Pillar 2 is based on a top-down approach, which means that the Commission states what they expect from the participants, and it is fixed a group of 6 clusters that are the first one is related with health, The second is about culture, creativity, and inclusive society. The third one is about civil security for society. Then we have a group, the cluster of digital industry and space. Then we have the cluster for climate, energy, and mobility. And at the end, we have the cluster number 6 for food, bioeconomy, natural resources, agriculture, and environments. All these clusters have a specific work program that you can that later I will tell you where you can find these very important documents. But it is important to understand that each cluster is a work program where you can read all relevant information and what is expected during a short period of time. Each cluster has a specific work program that is valid for 2 years. Nowadays, we are applying for the calls for the period of 2021 and 2022. Today, it is known that Commission is already preparing the next work program period, and by the end of the year, we will probably know the document that will replace it. Each document has a fixed structure. So each cluster has a work program, and on the work program we will find several destinations, and under the destinations we will find the goals, and on the goals we will find the topics. So the topics is the opportunities we have to apply with our idea for a project. So in order to recap all this structure, the work program is the European adopted document for the implementation of a specific program. Then we have, under the work program, we have several destinations, which are the policy narratives for the goals and actions included in the work program. Then each destination has goals, which are a group of topics that are open in parallel and address the same policy domain. And finally, we have the topics. So each goal could have different topics that are part of a goal addressing the same expected outcome and scope. So this information is quite important because while the topic address the expected outcomes, the destination address the impact the European Commission expected from this kind of initiative. So it is really important to do a kind of homework in order to understand if our idea matches with all these types of fields. Otherwise, it will be difficult to convince the evaluator that our project is addressing the priorities and all the policies addresses in the referential documents. So here is the platform where you can find all this information. As I told you, the work program is defined by the Commission, and the Commission has the funding and tenders portal, which is a very important tool to keep on your laptop. If you go to the How to Participate tab, you can find the reference documents, and I think that it is a really friendly tool. So you just need to select the program you want to apply, which is Horizon Europe today, and you will find all reference documentation we need to prepare yourself and your organization to apply in. So on that part you can find relevant legislation, the work programs, the amendments or the grant agreements, the application forms, so all useful information it is grouped on this platform. Besides, after reading the work program, you can also use a dynamics tool on the same website. So you just need to sort some information. So you go to search funding and tenders, and then you just click on submission status you want to apply. That I think it's for coming and opens for submission. Again, you need to just sort the program you want to look for, and you can also select the cluster and the destination we are looking for to have a more detailed search. And with this platform, you can easily understand how many calls are open and what are the timeline, what are the budgets, and all relevant information. And it is through this platform that you could start the submission of your proposal. Well, after this very brief introduction about the Horizon Europe and where you can find relevant information about the program, I just want to move forward for a group of interesting and relevant information that you should that you should think with your team when you are preparing the proposal submission. On Pillar 2, the open calls are mainly divided in three types of actions, which are research and innovation actions, and the coordination and support actions. So this distribution is related with TRL scale, which is technological readiness level, which is related with the level of the readiness of our product, services, or process in terms of the pathway to the markets. So when we are applying for research and innovation initiatives, we could submit projects with activities that aims to establish new knowledge or explore the feasibility of new or improved technologies. So you can apply some activities related with small prototyping, some technology developments, some feasibility studies in order to see, in order to improve a little bit the technology you are applying. If you are applying for innovation actions, it is supposed that your project idea should be more focused on the market. So it is important to focus the methodology and the way you expose your idea with the focus on activities more related with the market. For example, large-scale pilots, market replication activities, or demonstration activities on real environments. So those are the group of activities more close to the market, you know. So it's really important to understand what's the phase of our project idea, and in order to see if we go for research and innovation action or if we go for an innovation action. Finally, there are also opportunities named coordination and support actions that is to fund activities non-related with the research and innovation activities. They are more related with the promotion of activities of awareness, for example, activities between member states and associated partners, and sometimes there are also interesting opportunities on that field. Then we should move for the consortium part. I just want to highlight that the funding and tenders portal is a quite useful tool and complete. when we are trying to understand if there are other partners interested on the same field as your organization who can use the partner search tool. I think that's really interesting to know that this tool is free of charge and quite easy to use. So just want to need to go to how to participate tab and then partner search, and then you can easily sort your information by program, by topic, by country, and you can easily find interesting partners so you can contact afterwards. Well, I just want to highlight other points about the consortium. If you are a research center, a higher institution, or a public body, it's really important to have a gender equality plan. I think there is a new from the previous framework program. It's eligibility criteria at that moment, so it's important to pay attention to that point. Also, you should gather a minimum of 3 member states in your consortium to apply. It is a general rule, and that's it for the consortium part. I also ask for your attention for the funding rules. On the Pillar 2, we also have grant opportunities, which means that don't foresee any kind of profit. So we are applying to fund our costs. There are different categories of costs. We can fund our personal costs, some subcontracting costs, purchase costs like equipment, travel costs, and other goods and services. So it is really important to understand the efforts we are planning to put on our project idea, and even more important is to be aware if the budget fits the roles and responsibilities of our organization in the project, you know. So when you are and deciding what kind of contribution you could put on the project, make sure that the budget fits your effort. Well, finally, I just want to wrap up my presentation, suggesting you to visit some online tools where you can find all this information in more detail. The European Commission has several materials on YouTube channel, on their funding and tenders portal. And also you should contact your national contact point in order to help you to better understand how can your idea be a winner on this kind of opportunities. So you can find official materials on YouTube, You Science and Innovation. Here you can see info days, webinars, conferences, so all relevant information from the European Commission. If you prefer, you can go to the participant portal. You can go to the funding and tenders portal and go to the section of the events, and here you can easily find very interesting webinars, how to register your organization, and in the platform, how to deal with personal costs, how to fulfill some specific part of the application. Also, you could also find, for example, a webinar to support the coordination of the proposal. So I think that's interesting to explore all these materials. And finally, my last advice, or at least my last suggestion, I would say, each country has a group of delegates that promotes the European initiatives in each country, and they are very useful to support us to better prepare a proposal and also to find the right partners to apply with us. So, in order to see, or in order to know who are those people in your country, you can just find this information on the Funding and Tenders portal. You just need to sort by country and you will find easily the contacts of your NCP. So now it's time for question and answers. I don't know if you have any question to ask me. Please use this time. It's your turn now. I will check now the comments on YouTube channel. I will also okay. So we have also here the first question. Hi Anna, I work for a training entity. What would be, in your perspective, the cluster with more opportunities for this kind of partners? Thanks. Hi João, thank you for joining us today. Well, I would say that educational activities related to with improvement of skills and reskill and upskill, which is really important during this period program. I would say that through all clusters you will find a floor for these specific entities. But my suggestion is to you to have a concrete look on the work program of cluster 2, because on cluster 2 you have concrete actions related with skills, training, reskilling and upskilling, and probably could be the way for this kind of organizations. I hope it helps. Thank you. Well, I don't know if you have any more questions. I will just check. I will just wait a little bit more time in order to see if we have much more questions. Okay, so I will. You're welcome, João. So I just want to wrap up my presentation right now. During this webinar session, I tried just to highlight you some reflections on important topics of the Horizon Europe program that you should pay attention when you are preparing your proposal. I tried also to suggest some official and reference documents that are really important to read, like the work programs of each cluster. This kind of the very first step should be to read these documents and then go to the Funding and Tenders portal, try to better understand what kind of topics are open or not. Then I also tried to support you to understand some issues of the consortium and the funding rules, and also about the type of actions. And finally, I tried to highlight you about some online resources that you could that could help you anywhere, anytime during your right proposal journey. Finally, if you find all this information interesting, you can also visit the project website and download the handbook. Today this live talk session was about Horizon Europe, but on the website you can find also friendly information about other types of programs like cost actions or interreg ones. So I think all this information will be updated soon. So I just invite you to visit the website and follow it through the social media. And thank you very much, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.